Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Vela Africana, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how I made this top part of this dress without any padding, and the fitting was still 100%. So there is no padding at all, and it still gave me what I wanted. So let's get started quickly. So firstly, I had cut out this template. This is 18 inches in length, and then I confirmed with 18 inches on the both side, and then we'll start to impute our measurements. So I used 3 inches for my neck width and 3.5 inches for my neck depth. I connected the points just like this, and then I have already marked my shoulder measurement, which is 7.5 inches. And then at that point of my shoulder measurement, I came down by 8.5 inches for my chest line. After marking my chest line, still keeping the tape, I marked my bust point. Shoulder to my bust point, I marked 11 inches. I connected with a straight line, and after marking my bust point, still keeping the tape, I marked my under bust. My under bust is 15 inches for my shoulder. I marked this, and then the half length is 18 inches. So we have chest line, bust point, under bust point, and half length. So what I have on my shoulder measurement, I'm going to mark the same 7.5 on my chest line, and then connect the 2 points just like this. So after this, I'm going to divide what I have on my armhole line, divide it by 2, which I'm going to have 4.2, and then I'll mark it there. And then I'm going to take my round bust measurement, divide it by 4, and then mark it on the chest line. So I'm going to mark 9.75 on my chest line, just like this. I hope you can see this. And after that, I'm going to come in at that 4.2 mark by 1/2 inch. Then I'll connect this 3 points together for the armhole curve. So after I'm done connecting it, I'll then mark 4 inches at my half length line, my under bust line, and my bust point, because we want to take the dart intake now. So I'm going to mark 4 inches, which is my bust span is 8 inches divided by 2, I have 4 inches. So I'm going to come inwards to the center curve by 1/2 inch on the waistline and under bust line, and then I will go out by 1.5 inch. I'll mark the same 1.5 inch on the half length and under bust line. I'll connect all these points, and then on my bust point, I will come down by 1 inch. So I'm marking the 1 inch just like this, and then I will connect from that 1 inch to meet the 1/2 inch line and the 1.5 inch dart. I then move to my armhole curve. I'll take the round measurement of my armhole curve. After that, I'll divide it by 2, and then I'll mark in the half just like this. So I'm going to connect from that point to meet the 4 inch line at the bust point, just like this. So right on this particular point, I'm going to come up by 1/2 inch and come down by 1/2 inch. I'll mark these 2 points and then connect it down to meet the bust point line. So after doing this, I am done with this front part. The last thing is to just put in my body measurements. So for our sweetheart neckline, I'm going to come down by 7 inches. I'll mark it 7 inches and then connect the point. So I'll connect with a straight line. And right at that center, I'm going to come down by half an inch for the curve. So it's not going to be a very deep curve. So I later made it 1 inch so it can be a little bit visible. So I came down and just did a gentle curve, as you can see. So I'm done marking the sweetheart neckline. I then extended the down part of my armhole curve by 1 inch to avoid any fabric being short when sewing. Extended it by 1 inch. I hope you can see this. And then that's my new armhole line. So now I start imputing my body measurement. So on the chest line, I'm going to mark my bust measurement and then replace the darts that I took at that point and also add seam allowance. I go down to my bust point line. I put in my measurements there. My round of my bust divided by 4 plus seam allowance. There's no much dart intake at my bust point. And over to my under bust point. Round of my under bust divided by 4 plus seam allowance and also plus dart allowance. So I'm going to mark it and then I'll do the same thing for my half length. After marking all these points, I'm just going to connect it now with a freehand sketch. I'm going to connect it. And our front panel is just ready. So I will not cut out the darts first. I want to use this to cut out the back. So as you can see, I have placed the back underneath and there is also zip allowance of 1.5 inches. So next thing I did is to extend the bust point line and the under bust line. I also marked my dart point, that 4 inches. I also marked it very well. And then after that, I then extended the chest, the sweetheart neckline. Yes, because that's going to be for our yoke area at the back. I extended that line. And then we are going to mark the neckline for the back. So the neck width is the same, but the neck depth for the back is 1.5 inches. So I'll mark this and connect the points quickly. Next, I'll start cutting. So I'm just going to cut the body measurement shape, the armhole, and I'll stop there. So the area that I extended for the yoke part, I'm going to use my rule to connect that point. I'm going to mark it right here. So this will be for my yoke at the back. That's where the lace will be. I will then give it the shape I want it to have. So I don't want it to be straight, a little bit slant. So that's what I'm trying to curve right here. You can leave yours straight if you want. So the back doesn't have much work. So I'll just mark the dart intake for the back, which is going to extend down to the bust point at the back. And then I'll mark half an inch on both sides at the 4 inches mark. And I'm done with the back. After cutting the yoke area, we are done with this back. I'll just cut the lining for it also, and the back is done. Then I'll bring in my front piece now. So I'll just keep this back piece, cut the lining and the lace later on. So for the front piece now, I will then reshape my shoulder and then cut out the dart, just like this. So this is what we have. And the next thing I'll do is to cut the lining for all this piece. And I'm going to use this lace right here to cut the yoke for the upper part of this dress. So this is it. I'm going to cut the yoke, but I'm going to add half inch for seam allowance around this yoke. So you can simply use a bias tape to sew around the neckline, or you can double the yoke part if you want. So I'll go over to my machine right now and then join all these pieces together. I'm going to join it firstly before turning it with my lining. So I have joined everything, and as you can see, it's already giving that bustier effect without padding it. So I have also joined all the pieces of my lining, and I'm going to show you how I will turn it. So I'm going to bring in my lining now. I'm going to arrange it well, and then right at the center where we have the sweetheart curve, the center of this lining, I'm going to place it directly on the center of my fabric, just like this. Just like this. Right side facing each other, and then the yoke area, that's the lace, is going to fall inside, and then I'll sew to one end and I'll sew to the other end neatly. So I am done turning in the lining, and you can see how gorgeous it is. I have a more detailed video of how I later fixed the sleeve and joined the skirt part. You can check it out on my channel. So thank you guys for watching. This is how I made this dress. I did not add any padding, and it still gave me that perfect fit. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe and share. See you in my next video. Bye.